Good morning, YouTubers, and welcome to Morning Coffee with Mike. Today I picked up a bit of Maxwell House, so I love that smell of Maxwell House and Folgers too. So I picked up a bottle of Folgers and Maxwell House. So tell me what kind of coffee you're drinking while watching Morning Coffee with Mike. Okay, guys, what's going on? Well, if you want to find episodes of Morning Coffee with Mike, I do bounce around the two channels. Our live stream channel has some Morning Coffee with Mike. I got to kind of keep it a little bit kosher. So, we got to be careful. We're entering very dangerous territory. And we discussed this. We were counting down. It's here. And if you can't see what's going on around you today, you're going to see it in this video. Remember, we're counting down from 12 weeks? And everything was being projected and told? Oh, no, that's not going to happen. Well, it's happening now. Let's take a look. I went on Google and I typed in flooding. So let's look at quickly what's happening in flooding. London cleans up after flash flooding drenches homes and subway. Wow. Belgian town hit with the worst flood in decades. Cars and pavements washed away. That's a Belgian town there. Let's keep going here. So CTV Windsor. City of Windsor offers special pickup for flood damages. Owner of a flooded Vale Island properties in Northwest Territories calling for a drainage system. Shoreline property owners urged to prepare for possible flooding. So Western India landslides, monsoon flooding, 113 killed. London again, Belgian. So there's a lot of flooding going on, and we got huge flooding going on. And now, when you type in the word, this is concerning. When you go into Google and you type in the word mandatory, there's your top story. Some French health workers resist mandatory vaccines. While most French healthcare workers are vaccinated against the COVID, a small but vocal minority is holding out. Here it is, Ontario. So, but then you ask yourself, you are vaccinated, what does it matter if somebody that isn't? You see what I'm saying? So let's keep going with it. Ontario Liberal leader calls for creation of vaccine passports. We need to plan to prevent the fourth wave. Now, the one question is, where's the flu? What happens to the flu? In the southern hemisphere right now in Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa, those parts of the world, it's wintertime. Where is the flu? So we need to send correspondents all over the world, and we need to send investigators all over the place to find out what happened to the flu, the common flu. The flu wiped out a lot more people than, we got some bad, I think it was 2010 and 2012, were some really bad flu years that wiped out quite a few people that weren't ready for it or prepared for the flu season, right? Should COVID be mandatory healthcare workers? That's from a day ago. Greek police clash with protesters opposing mandatory COVID. So there it is right there in Greece. What else do we got? Yes, vaccine should be mandatory for healthcare workers. Here's a compassionate and equitable way to make that happen. So you keep going. You have pages. How many? 132 million. So let's go to the next page. Let's just make sure. Ontario won't require COVID passports. That's 2 weeks ago. But they always say, they change their minds. Case for mandatory full vaccination to be mandatory for students living in Brock. German politicians float banned mandatory jabs. Hospital staffing shortages, a concern of mandatory vaccinations. So there it is right there. But they keep calling it a vaccine. And that's concerning how they use language and kind of throw it back at us, right? It's interesting how they use language on us or as a weapon. Okay, the CDC, well, this is what CNN, Counterfeit News Network, is saying. Basically, the CDC would recommend everyone in K-12 schools to wear a mask regardless of vaccination status in new guidance. Here it is here. Active COVID-19 cases climb back to over 1,000 mark as Alberta reports 387 cases over the past 3 days. So, guys, I was going to turn because I got a newer camera. There's a video that's coming out of Portuguese America, Brazil, where people went into one of these big establishments where there's reported so many deaths. They went in, there was nobody in there. It was empty. And they went to the location that it was being reported on. So look for that on TikTok. Just type in Brazil location and guys break in and search facility. You won't find it on YouTube. It is banned on YouTube. It is on TikTok, where people go in. They're speaking in Portuguese, but you can kind of get the gist of the conversation, or you could call me and I could translate it for you. So here it is. Active. So coming back. So these are cases, not deaths, right? So where's the flu? So there it is. There's the cases right there. There's the tests. Wow, that's a lot of testing, man. Wow, in one day. Wow. So there it is right there. I don't even read this garbage anymore. And then we got our great leader here in Canada. People love this guy in Canada. Trudeau joins chorus blasting Montreal Canadiens for drafting player who violated women's consent. Wow. So I don't know. I guess you know what. I'm not gonna weigh in on that, but I'm let you guys comment below on that. The great leader. Pearson Airport reverses decision to separate arrivals by vaccinations. Emails, folks, on that. Yes, I did see that. Yeah, lots of people being segregated by vaccinated and non-vaccinated. So it's kind of interesting to see where things are going to go with that. I kind of find that very, very key, because that's just a kind of a little window into where things are headed. So yes, vaccines should be mandatory for healthcare workers. Here's a compassionate and equitable way to make that happen. So there's, I think this is from Canada, right? Toronto Star. There's Canada's healthcare workers right there, and basically going into, I'm not going to read all that. You guys can read it on for yourselves, and why people should be getting this. And see which New York theaters and museums and art venues landed a $1.2 billion in federal COVID relief grants. So grants in the States is a little bit different. I don't think they have to pay back the grants. In Canada, you have to pay back grants. There's no such thing as free ride in Canada. But there it is right there. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, because that's huge. Because I'm looking at the grant money and where it's being allocated in the States. And CDC to reverse course. So that's the Center for Disease Control, if you don't know. To reserve the course of recommended masks for vaccinated people. And UBC Student Union calls for mandatory masks in classroom and vaccines in residence. So if you're local in the university, you need to get the shot. And if you are a student, you're asked to wear a mask. Like, wow. So this is a very interesting turn of times. And I had somebody message me the other day, Mike, you were counting down for like 12 weeks. What were you counting down? Well, I was counting down a lot of things. I thought there was going to be a major move in Southeast Asia, and it didn't fall through. But we're entering the dark days. We're in dark days +3 today, +4 from my countdown. From Mike and the Night this Saturday is going to be dark days +5. It's getting very eerie. It's getting very weird. We're not allowed to question just a simple question. People are being thrown on the bus. I got put in my place yesterday by a scientist, virologist, climatologist, everything. Like this person is up there when it comes to knowing things, right? So yeah, everybody nowadays now, it's the control. And I keep telling you guys, and we said this on Mike in the Night, the false prophets, or the false, not to be confused by the Antichrist, but the false prophet, or the false that many traditions talk of, okay, is the mainstream media. The mainstream media is pushing back on small content creators. I've been here since 2012, 2010. My channel has gone nowhere because, there's many reasons why, right? But the main reason, my stuff sucks, but I do like to talk to you guys, right? But to be really frank with you guys, and to be very transparent, I honestly think that we need to start finding ourselves. Finding out who we really are. Finding out, getting in touch with our souls, so to say, or finding yourself. I think that's the most important thing right now, because now we're entering these devil dark days. These dark days are coming. Now, if you go back for 12 weeks, they brought forward specific topics that we could bring up from 12 weeks ago from my countdown that say, oh, this now, oh, mandatory this, oh, we're going to have to wear masks, blah, 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 blah. We can't do this, or this is uncalled for, it's unfair. But then you fast forward 12 weeks now, everything they said that shouldn't be done, or no, this is going against human rights, is now becoming now. It's actually happening and moving forward with it. And that's how it usually happens. What happened to my body, my choice? What happened to that? I guess that only happens when you want to switch your anatomy around. I guess that's what it's for. It doesn't mean anything when it comes to, asking questions outside the box. I got put in my place yesterday. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I love you guys very much. Thanks for joining me for coffee. Maxwell House. And I'm going to give the original roast a try again. It's been a while. Let me know what coffee you drink when you're watching Morning Coffee with Mike. Lots of love. God bless. Guys, remember, take care. And if you can't take care, please stay safe. Mike Martins here signing off. I have spoken.